All right, so let's go over some problems here. Don't forget you can always pause the recording and rewind it and slow it down if you need to. So in this equation here, we are going to start by adding 4 to both sides. So we're going to add 4 to get rid of that minus 4. So we're going to add 4 to both sides here. So that leaves us x divided by 6 equals a negative 1. And now we're going to do the inverse of dividing by 6. So we're going to multiply by 6 to both sides. And that leaves us with x equals negative 6. And don't forget to always check your work. So I'll check my work over here. So negative 6 divided by 6 minus 4 is equal to negative 5. Negative 6 divided by 6 is negative 1. Minus 4, which equals negative 5, and that is correct. So negative 1 minus 4 is equal to negative 5. So my answer is negative 6. Let's go to the next problem. Negative 5p minus 2 is equal to negative 37. First step here is to get rid of this minus 2. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. So negative 37 plus 2. Negative 37 plus 2 is negative 35. And then we have a negative 5p. We're going to bring that down. Is equal to negative 35. And then we are going to divide by negative 5 to both sides. So p equals 7. Let's go ahead and plug that in to make sure that works. Negative 5 times 7 minus 2 equals negative 37. Negative 5 times 7 is negative 35. Minus 2, which is equal to negative 37, and that is true. So we know our answer is correct. P is equal to 7. Let's look at the next slide. Our next problem. 4 minus 6n is equal to 64. First thing we need to do is get rid of this 4. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. Subtract 4 from both sides. That leaves us negative 6n equals 60. 64 minus 4 is 60. We're going to now divide by negative 6. And that leaves us n, which is equal to negative 10. Plug it back in to make sure it works. 4 minus 6 times a negative 10 equals 64. We're going to do our multiplication first. So 4 minus a negative 60, which is really adding, equals 64. 4 plus 60 equals 64. So we know that n, or negative 10, is correct. Negative 10. All right, let's look at the next problem. X divided by negative 9 minus 2 is equal to negative 1. Don't forget, if I'm going too fast, just pause it, slow it down. And if you have any specific questions, I'm not really going over it in detail. So if you have any specific questions, please reach out to your teacher. Minus 2, so we're going to add the opposite, plus 2. So we still have x divided by negative 9. Negative 1 plus 2 is 1. We're now going to multiply both sides by negative 9. That gives us x. 1 times negative 9 is negative 9. So our answer is negative 9. Let's plug it in to make sure. So negative 9 divided by, well, negative 9 minus 2 is equal to negative 1. Negative 9 divided by negative 9 is 1. 1 minus 2 is equal to negative 1, and that is correct. So our answer is negative 9. Let's look at the next question. 8b minus 3 is equal to negative 43. So we're going to add 3 to both sides. We now have 8b. Remember, negative 3 plus 3, that cancels out. Negative 43 plus 3 is negative 40. We're now going to divide by 8. And that gives us b is equal to negative 5. Plug it in to make sure. 8 times a negative 5 minus 3 equals negative 43. Let's make sure. Negative 40 minus 3 is equal to negative 43. And yes, negative 40 plus a negative 3 or minus 3 is equal to negative 43. So therefore, our answer should be correct. B is equal to negative 5. Next problem, x divided by negative 4 plus 8 equals 5. So we're going to get rid of the 8. So minus 8. Do it down here since we don't have any room. So we still have x divided by negative 4. 5 minus 8 is negative 3. We're now going to multiply, since it's division, we're going to do the inverse. We're going to multiply by negative 4. So that gives us x equals 12. Negative 3 times negative 4 is 12. Let's plug it in to make sure it's right. So 12 divided by negative 4 plus 8 equals 5. 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. Plus 8 equals 5. And that is correct. So our answer should be correct. X equals 12. Let's look at the next question. 5 minus 2r equals 9. So now we're going to get rid of this 5 first. So minus 5 from both sides. So we're going to, 5 minus 5 is 0, so negative 2r is still left. 9 minus 5 is 4. We're going to divide by negative 2 from both sides. That gives us r equals negative 2. Let's plug it in. 5 minus 2 times a negative 2 equals 9. So 5 minus a negative 4. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 equals 9, which then means 5 plus the opposite. 5 plus 4 equals 9. So our answer is correct. R is equal to negative 2. Next slide. 6x minus 1 is equal to negative 91. So we're going to add 1 to both sides. That gives us 6x equals negative 90. Divide both sides by 6. I know that 6 goes into 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 5 is 30. So therefore, 10 plus 5, so negative 15. Let's plug that in, make sure it works. 6 times negative 15, which is negative 90, minus 1. So negative 90 minus 1 equals negative 91. That is correct. So our answer is correct. Negative 15. All right, next problem. V divided by negative 16 minus 9 equals negative 10. So we're going to add 9 to both sides. Get rid of that minus 9. V divided by negative 16 equals negative 1. Negative 10 plus 9 is negative 1. We're now going to multiply by the inverse. We're going to now do the inverse multiplication. So times negative 16 times negative 16. That gives us V equals negative 1 times negative 16. To 16. Let's plug it in to make sure it works. 16 divided by negative 16, which is negative 1. Negative 1 minus 9 equals negative 10. So we know our answer is correct. 16. Next problem. 5n minus 3 equals 87. We're going to add 3 to both sides. That gives us 5n is equal to 90. We're now going to divide by 5. That gives us n. 50 plus 40. 5 times 8, so 18. 18. 5 times 18 is 50 plus 40, which is 90. Minus 3, which is 87. So we know 18 is the correct answer. Doing great so far. That's why we check our work, just in case we make some mistakes. Negative 6x plus 1 equals 1. We're going to subtract 1 from both sides. That gives us negative 6x still. It's equal to 0. Anything divided by 0 is 0. So therefore, our answer is 0. Let's plug it in to make sure. Negative 6 times 0 plus 1 equals 1. I think we can figure this one out in our head. And looks like we're right. X equals 0. Easy one. Y divided by 3 plus 6 equals negative 1. So we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. We got y divided by 3. Negative 1 minus 6 is a negative 7. We're now going to get rid of this dividing by 3, so we're going to multiply by 3. Y equals negative 21. Let's plug it in to make sure. Negative 21 divided by 3 plus 6. It's negative 7 plus 6, which in this case, negative 7 plus 6 does equal negative 1. So our answer is correct, negative 21. All right. Negative 9 is equal to negative 5 minus 4x. So we're going to get rid of this negative 5 first. So we're going to add 5. We're going to add the opposite there. So plus 5 to both sides. We've got negative 4 is equal to negative 4x. We're now going to do the opposite of multiplying by negative 4. We're going to divide by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. So therefore 1 is equal to x. Let's plug it in to make sure. Negative 9 is equal to negative 5 minus 4 times 1. Negative 1 is equal to negative 5 minus 4. And that is correct. Negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. So therefore our answer is correct. 1. Just flying right through these. 9 is equal to k divided by negative 2 plus 7. So we're going to get rid of the 7 first. So we've got 2 is equal to k divided by negative 2. We're going to get rid of that dividing by negative 2 by multiplying by negative 2. That gives us negative 4 is equal to k. Plug it in to make sure. Negative 4 divided by negative 2, which is 2. And that is correct. 9 does equal 2 plus 7. So our answer is negative 4. Doing great so far. 2 is equal to 7 plus n over 4, or n divided by 4. We're going to get rid of the 7 first on this side. 2 minus 7 is negative 5. And n divided by 4. Since it's divided by 4, we're going to multiply by 4. We're going to do the opposite. Negative 20 is equal to n. Check our work. 2 is equal to 7 plus 20 divided by 4. 7 plus, negative 20, plus a negative 5. And 7 plus negative 5 is equal to 2. So the answer is negative 20. Next problem, negative 87 is equal to negative 7 times n minus 10. Well, we're not want to subtract 10, we're going to do the opposite, we're going to add 10. Negative 87 plus 10 is negative 77. So we have our negative 7m. We're going to divide by negative 7 now. That gives us 11. Let's double check our work. Negative 87 is equal to negative 7 times 11, which is negative 77. Minus 10, that is correct. Negative 77 minus 10 is negative 87. So our answer is correct, 11. All right, 7 is equal to 2n minus 9. Let's add 9 to both sides. 16 is equal to 2n. Divide both sides by 2. And that gives us 8 is equal to n. Check our work. Does 7 equal 16 minus 9? It sure does. So therefore, the answer is correct. n equals 8. All right, negative 6r minus 7 is equal to negative 43. We're going to add 7 to both sides. Negative 43 plus 7 is negative 36. And then now, instead of multiplying, we're going to divide by negative 6. And that gives us 6. So we'll check our work. Negative 36 minus 7. And that is correct. Doing great so far. Negative 9v minus 4 is equal to 59. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. Plus 4 is 63. We're now going to divide by negative 9. V equals negative 7. Check our work. 63 minus 4. So we are right. Negative 7. Next problem. 5 is equal to 6b minus 7. We're going to add 7 to both sides. Almost at the finish line. Now we're going to divide by 6. And that gives us 2. Does 5 equal 6 times 2 minus 7? It sure does. 5 is equal to 12 minus 7. All right. Keep it going. Negative 90 is equal to 6r minus 12. We want to get rid of this minus 12, so we're going to add 12. Negative 90 plus 12 is 90 minus 12, which is 78. But it's a negative. Z was 6r. We're going to divide by 6. 6 times 10 is 60, plus another 18, so 13. It's a negative. So we'll check our work. 6 times negative 13, which is 60 plus 18, 78. Negative 78 minus 12 is negative 90. Right. Negative 13. Next one, negative 6x plus 48 is equal to 66. We're going to subtract the 48. That gives us negative 6x equals 12 plus 6, 18. Divided by 6, negative 6. X equals negative 3. For lack of time, we'll just go ahead and finish this out. Got a few more. Negative 7n minus 8 equals 104. We're going to add 8 to both sides. Negative 7n equals 112. We're going to divide by negative 7. 70 plus 42 is 16. Negative 16. All right. 2 more. 90 equals 5p plus 20. So we're going to get rid of this 20. It gives us 70 equals 5p. We're going to divide by 5. 50 plus 20, so 14 equals p. 14. And finally, the last one. Good job for hanging in there. This one you can probably do in your head. It's probably going to be 10. Let's take a look. 7x equals 70 divided by 7. And x equals 10. I know I went through that really fast, so make sure you pause it, go back if you're struggling with any of them. I didn't go into detail on how and what we're doing, so if you have any questions about any specific problems, make sure you reach out to your teacher. And y'all do wonderful on your test on Wednesday.